things that I'm talking about here. Okay, so we are looking at the week of July 13th to July 19th. I still can't believe it is July. So on Monday, July 13th, Venus is square Uranus. On Tuesday, July 14th, we have that new moon in Cancer. I have a full YouTube video on breaking that down, like in depth. It's pretty long. It's pretty hefty. Definitely check that out after this. Wednesday, July 15th, Uranus is sextile Neptune. On Friday, July 17th, Uranus is trine Pluto. And then Sunday, July 19th, Mars is sextile Saturn. Yes. Okay. So that is what is going down this week. So we're going to be jumping into that. And one question I have, Boopy Loopy, you said you are going to post pictures. Share pictures of what? I'm curious before I let you into the Discord server. What are you trying to share here? We've got a Pisces sun, Taurus moon, Virgo rising in tropical. Nice. Leo sun, Sag moon, Aquarius rising, but also Virgo stellium in the woof in the 7th and Cap stellium in the 11th. Woof. Birthday is on the eclipse coming up. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay, cool. Sounds good. I will let you in then. I'm the gatekeeper of my Discord community. I am very protective of my community, so I am always being sure of what's going on. There we go. Cool. Awesome. There you go. Be sure to follow the rules. And for anybody else who is interested in joining the Discord server, come join. It is a space of like-minded people. It's not just specifically astrology. I should preface that. And if you're watching this on TikTok, you can see my pinned images. Those are the events that we have happening weekly. We've got a lot going on. Okay, so let's take a peek at what we've got going on. Okay, so let's jump to Monday, the 13th. And let's go ahead and grab this pen here. Okay, so, come back. So we've got Venus hanging out in Virgo, making a square to Uranus. She's moving pretty quick. So, oh, thank you, Amy. It's super cool. Kind of like drinking from a firehouse. So I've been mostly lurking. Oh, well. Stop. Engage. Talk to us. We want to know you. Oh, a fire hose. I was like, I don't know what this means, but I cool. Okay, so I gotta be in here. I gotta get into the astrology. I gotta like let myself settle in. Also, I just realized my little flowers. My brother bought me the flowers. He's so sweet. He's a good friend. Okay. So Uranus is hanging out in Gemini, has been there for a good chunk of this year. And this has been bringing in those like, it's the mental stimuli. I really equate a lot of this like rewiring that has been happening on a collective level to Uranus and Gemini. Like it's been like this mental crazy, like, whoa, we got to reconfigure, we got to change, we got to like let this evolve. Now, Venus in Virgo, she's like, oh, I feel this energy so much already. Just saying Venus and Virgo. I had a whole stint last week where I really talked about her in depth, and I'll probably end up linking that deeper insight to my upcoming newsletter because this is potent. This is potent energy, Venus and Virgo. She's really bringing in this conversation around higher standards and understanding if we desire a certain level of reciprocity, are we meeting ourselves there? Are we showing up for ourselves in the way that we desire other people to show up, right? It's kind of like this analogy was coming through. Was this in a dream? I don't know if I was talking about this. I'm going to be so honest with the smoke and with this like weird fogginess that's been coming through. Mercury's retrograde and I'm ruled by Mercury. I have this analogy come to mind. I feel like maybe it was in a dream, but I feel like I recorded it. That's just kind of how this energy has been for me, which was the sort of analogy of somebody like you getting, I think I told this to a client yesterday, which feels wild. I can't believe I sat with one of my clients yesterday and I just am like, how'd that happen yesterday? Time is freaking weird, guys. Okay. So it's sort of this analogy of like, now I've like lost the plot. That's literally this Mercury retrograde. With Venus and Virgo is very service oriented and wants to help everybody. But we have to understand that if you're constantly in service of other people, then what's left for you? And the sort of analogy that came up with this, whether it was through a dream or through a message, was like you helping people, right? You're like, oh my gosh, let me help you with all this stuff. And people are giving you like all the ingredients to bake a cake. This is the analogy. You're like, hey, like you have stuff going on. They're like, yeah, here it is. It's this emotional substance. And you're like, cool, I'm going to like take that in and work with it and like help you. And then you bake a cake with all this like emotional ingredients and it creates something. And you're like, here's the answer to your thing. And they're like, cool. And they go to take the whole cake, but you're like, but I did all the work. And they're like, well, you can have a small slice of the cake. And it's kind of like this lack of balance that is showing up where Venus and Virgo has been asking us to like really understand, like, is there even like, what if you were baking it together? What if you both equally brought the same like amount of ingredients and there was reciprocity and you baked it and there was like, and then, right. So Venus making this square to Uranus, this is very interesting. And it's why I was giggling, because immediately this is giving like it's not that serious a little bit, because Uranus in Gemini, I said that in a reading. Okay, it was in a reading. Okay, I was like, where did I say that? I know I said it somewhere. Yeah, okay, thank you guys. Thank you. Cool. I was like, at this point, I'm like, did I say this in a reading? Did I say this? Did this happen in a dream? I don't know. So when we have a square within astrology, it creates tension, it creates this friction, and Uranus and Gemini is really actively trying to invite us into new reprogramming, into new ways of embodying our mental space and our communication. And Venus and Virgo, especially since she just passed over the South Node, there was a little bit of a rebirth that happened there where it's kind of like, okay, trying to operate differently, but there still is this sort of rigidity, hi Sage, that comes in with this sort of frequency that Uranus is stimulating Venus in this sort of like, it's giving, can you still hold your standards when things around you are just like unpredictable? And the energy that's coming up is like, you know how like there's like house spirits or like trickster energy where like suddenly your sock is missing and you're like, I literally put my sock here. Like we've been talking about the Fae. This is kind of giving like tiny little inconveniences to really see like, can you hold this standard, right? Or even just, it feels like little brother energy that's like nagging you. That's what Uranus squaring Venus is. Like Uranus is like, well, like, why don't you like go try this new thing? And Venus and Virgo is like, no, like that doesn't sound fun. That's not like a part of the emotional plan, right? This is the pathway that I've laid out for myself and the standards that I've set for myself when it comes to love and connecting to love. And I've got the game plan, I've got the recipe, and this is how it's going to go. And Uranus and Gemini is like, well, we don't have any of those ingredients, coming back to like this. So like, are you able to be adaptable, right? It's sort of this idea of like, it's still going to be a cake at the end and fulfill your desires. But can you work with different qualities? Like being content even in the unexpected. Yeah, exactly. I love that. So And it feels irritating. It feels fucking irritating is this energy, because it's like, I'm trying to follow this structure in this system that feels good, but Uranus and Gemini is like, but does it really, right? Is this actually fun, right? There's something about there's something about curiosity in the process too, right? I heard like, don't judge a book by its cover, right? And there's this analogy that I like to use with dating apps, and I'm going to bring it into the conversation here because there's a thing that I felt personally in my experience on dating apps where it almost feels like you're a cereal box on the shelf, just hoping that somebody's like, that your box cover is alluring enough that somebody's going to like pick it up and look at it and then maybe read the ingredients and then maybe put you in the cart to purchase, right? It kind of feels like this energy of like, now I'm hearing like, that Billie Eilish song, like, what am I made of? What's those lyrics? Where there's this deeper inquiry that is happening with this square, that it's going to bring up like, is this pathway or is this recipe what you really want? Is this what was I made for? Yeah. Thank you guys. It's like, is this path really, like, especially with the emotional terrain and the romantic terrain of Venus and Virgo, like, is this really actually truly in alignment with the reprogramming that's been happening? So the square is going to create that tension between Uranus and Gemini that is saying like, new patterns, new places to be curious, new ways of expressing yourself, new ways of exploring mental spaces. And of course, it's very niche based off of where it's landing in your chart. And then Venus and Virgo is bringing this edge of like, but I have an idea of what I desire, right? Again, don't judge a book by its cover, because Venus and Virgo can do that, where you look at something on the surface level and you don't inquire deep enough. And then also it's like, what are you on the surface level? And there might be some deeper, like, can I be more vulnerable? Can I be more playful? Can I be more authentic with how I'm expressing? And give me 1 second. I'm going to check this fire notification. Okay. If my power goes out, just know that that is why. Sometimes they shut down the power lines. Okay, that was an hour ago. Staff report. Hold on. Okay, this guy who's doing the fire forecast is not very good at it, so I'll listen to that later. So I just wanted to double check if I was in an evacuation zone. But we're good, guys. We're good. We're good. Okay, so yeah, let's jump to Tuesday. Also, just a heads up for those of you who are popping in here for the first time. On the 13th, I'm going to be hosting my new moon in Cancer gathering with my inner circle. I see some of you guys in here, so I will see you guys there. We're going to be diving deep. This is going to be the first lunation that we all have together where the doors are like officially closed to the public. I don't think I'll have to evacuate. Realistically, I feel that I have that deep gut feeling that just the landscape and the logistics, like it just isn't likely. And yeah, I feel safe. I feel totally confident in these people's capabilities. So we should be good. It's only like 6 miles away from where I'm at. So check to see family text. Okay, so all right. Again, about the new moon. Sorry, I got derailed with the fires yet again. if you guys feel that call to gather with us, there's a couple more spots left in the inner circle. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about this new moon. Just a little brief touch on it. It's happening very early in the morning. I think it's like 3 a.m. Yeah. Okay. It's at 21 degrees of Cancer. Okay, so I have a full YouTube video on this new moon that is happening on the 14th. And the things that are very significant about this new moon for me specifically is the fact that it's the first new moon that we've had since Jupiter has left Cancer. And the reason that that is so significant is because Jupiter in Cancer was ruling over the moons. And so the last year of lunations that we've had were deeply like I'm not surprised that I literally felt the call to like start gathering on the new and full moons and starting like to do circles because of like how deeply impactful the lunations were at the time. Like it was very like deeper and more expansive than they are usually. So this one is sort of like this freedom. It feels like freedom. And this is the first one you get to. I know, I'm so freaking excited to have you there. It's going to be delicious. I'm so excited. And like, yeah, I just feel some really, really beautiful like unfurling that's going to be moving with the inner circle. Like this is just like the first step. So I'm very, very grateful for all of you. Eat some coffee, hold on. Okay, so yeah, this new moon is very, very emotionally stirring, right? It's so funny. It's like as I totally like was channeling when I was talking about it for my YouTube video, because it really, I'm like, all my notes that I have here, I'm like, what did I even say about this? Yeah. Yeah, it really, this is so cool. Speaking of alchemy, right? What is the format of the inner circle? Is it text thread or, so it's a great question, Amy. So the inner circle is based in Patreon, but through the Patreon, you get an expanded space within the Discord where we have digital altars. We have deeper conversations. You get to know a lot of the people in the Discord in a more intimate space because a good chunk of people are in the Discord are a part of that. And it's like a little bit of a space where we can shed a bit more of those layers that we have with, the wider community. With the Patreon, I share all the links there, the gatherings, deeper insights, tarot spreads. When I feel called, it tends to be very spirit led what I do pour into the container, like literally like spirit's like, all right, record a video for them, okay, do this. And so the base foundation is those new moons and full moon gatherings, which are the substance that we move throughout the lunar month, right? Those 28 days. So what was evoked in the new moon, that's kind of the substance that we really cater to in that like emotional terrain as we build to the full moon. And then the full moon, we release, and the structure is going to change a little bit where we're actually going to be talking a little bit more in depth, where we're actually connecting a bit more mindfully in the live calls and wrapping things up. Now we're about to have an eclipse portal, which for the eclipse portal, I have planned for the inner circle daily check-ins. That's what I did at the beginning of this year. I just hosted a eclipse portal container, and it was actually my little test for the inner circle. That was my like, I want to do this thing, but I need to see like how I can operate it. And so it was like, it was so cool. And so there's going to be like way more support because eclipse portals, they're so intense. I'm not gonna lie, this last one, it was a lot. I thought that I was in a plant medicine ceremony the whole time. So I desire to hold all of you. Yeah, great question, Amy. Yeah, and there's a few more spots left, and just depending on my capacity, I might open more seats, but I'm really trying to honor like my capacity as a person to mindfully hold people, right? You know, I am only one gal, only one girl. So Yeah, great question. So if you do feel that call, I would love to have you there. Now, yeah, dude, that eclipse for we don't talk about Bruno. No, but coming back to this new moon is really, it's ruled by the Four of Cups. And so when we look at the Four of Cups, there's sort of this dissatisfaction of like what life is. It's very interesting, right? Where it's like, what are we going to do with what is being kicked up specifically today? I'm going to really invite you guys to be aware of what this Mercury Cazimi brings up. At the time I'm live, if you're watching the recap, sorry, maybe look back at Sunday evening, like what is being kicked up? What is the emotional substance? Because this new moon is going to be that like, what do I want to do with this? How do I desire to alchemize this energy? There is like very, very subtle reprogramming that is coming up with like how water is shaped by your environment. Like, what is the thing that is holding your emotions? Is it this old structure? Is it this old, like, I'm seeing like a rusty cup that you inherited from your family? And it's like, no, it's time for like a new chalice. It's time for a new space to be able to put my emotional energy in, my emotional investment in, right? And that cup is a representation of you. And there's sort of this energy of like, some people in this new moon are going to deepen into like deep like self-absorption. So you might see people around you that are more I'm going to say unconsciously operating, where the taking things even more personally, like even more personally. And then my people that are watching this, I tend to call in people that are actively working on these things. And there's just a deeper inner reflection. And yeah, exactly. Sam, water mirrors. I just heard like, when will my reflection show who I am inside? And it's kind of like, well, what's the quality of the container holding it? Right. And the Four of Cups speaks about like a balance between like movement and like stagnancy. So it's like, we've got to allow things to like continue to move. It's tempering. And again, this sort of idea of this Mercury retrograde and what it's kicking up, the reason there's been so much emotional terrain and emotional substance purging, like think of like a backed up, my ear just got all wonky. Think of like, rusty pipes, right? That haven't been cleaned or cleared or replaced. That's what's happening, is this replacement. And so the buildup of emotional stuff is pouring out. And then you're getting the temperance. This new moon is like building that temperance of how much you can actually hold. How much you can actually hold. So yeah, I am peeking at things. Someone get the barkeeper's friend out. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I went a lot deeper into this in my YouTube video. So yeah, that was a big thing that kind of hit. I guess I'll share it with you guys. I was wondering where I was going to share the actual story. I said it in a YouTube video, but I didn't actually share the story. Oh, nope. Spirit said no. Dang it. Well, I'll probably share it with you guys in the inner circle. Yeah, that will be my altar update. I'll share that with you guys. No more rusty pipes. No more rusty pipes. Clear it out. I mean, and you can also think of it like, I mean, with Venus and Virgo, who up polishing thy chalice. Let's fucking go. Right? That's the kind of people we want with Venus and Virgo. Like, who's actually like really being aware of like how they hold their emotions, right? Ugh, that shit's so funny. Alex, you should join the Twitch stream. Everybody's hanging out over there. Just a suggestion. Like, there is this sort of energy that I talked about in the new moon video about it being kind of like a crab, like a hermit crab shell. Like, you've outgrown your shell and it's like stuffy, and like the process of actually removing yourself from a shell that you've outgrown, it's painful, right? It's painful because like I mean, like, you know what it brought me back to is like squeezing yourself into skinny jeans, right? Back in the day. And then like the moment of actually taking them off and like the relief, but then also like that in between phase of like, oh, like I gotta like find like it's like be finished like putting yourself in circumstances that don't have the capacity to hold you anymore. That's kind of this new moon where it's like you're seeing the emotional pattern of where you've been really, really trying to make yourself more palatable and emotionally like likable. Yeah. Yeah, the imprint. There we go. There we go. So yeah. So very potent new moon, and I'm really excited for it. I'm really excited to sit with you guys tomorrow evening because like I'm ready to go in and I'm ready to like really let you guys find those answers within your subconscious mind. Okay, let's go ahead and jump to, let's look at the 15th. Man, I was talking about things for so long. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Okay, 15th. We have Uranus making a sextile to Neptune. It's actually been building, just for context. This, I actually feel like we had the sextile a bit ago, because Neptune just went retrograde in the movements, but maybe not. So on the 15th, this is kind of the start of this cradle, and just so people are aware, it's going to be like this whole, where's Jupiter? It's going to be this whole thing, this opposition, this sextile, and then this trine. It's going to be this whole like configuration. So we'll talk about that probably in a YouTube video or something. I don't know when I'll talk about it, but I'll talk about it. I will, don't you worry. But we're going to just talk about the sections that are happening here. And so when we look at these outer planets making this sextile, so just a little oh, that's so fucking funny, Sam. So hold on, I gotta pause. I'm like, I don't even know who's all in here. Okay, welcome. There's so many people hanging out in the YouTube live. None of y'all are talking. Hi, I see you guys. Star, welcome. It's so interesting now using the restream. I find that I don't get as much traction on TikTok, which is fine because like I'm in the like sustainability version of my my channel and what I'm doing here. So like I just, yeah. Anyways, okay. I keep getting derailed, guys. I just heard you can't ride in my little red wagon. Front seat's broken and the axle's dragging. Anybody know that song? Anybody? Anyways, I used to be a camp counselor. Okay, so this sextile, what's really interesting and what I want to name for my people who are now just like showing up in this space and being around me, all of the outer planets are now fully in new signs. And I sort of termed this last year as like the switching of the guards and switching of the gods ultimately, because all of the outer planets were all in water and earth signs, and now they're all in fire and air signs. So it was this visceral shift from like this feminine like undertow into this like more masculine energy. Okay, so with Neptune now retrograde and Uranus and Gemini, this sextile is bringing in, oh, I love this. I actually freaking love this. I'm really excited for this configuration coming up. Thank you. I love my mug too. This I got it from the Ren Fair. It's got a bunny on it. Rabbits are very significant to me right now. Rabbits. Interesting. That was interesting because when I said rabbits, there's this book called Hawaii for Wadney Wat, which was this play on this kid who was who was like this rat or rabbit. I don't know. Anyways, it was like this animal book and he couldn't say his R's and people would make fun of him, and it ended up becoming his greatest strength, and he was able to like get the bully to like leave everybody alone by actually using his, like, he told everybody to go rest, but he said west, but everybody knew what he was saying except the bully, and the bully just started walking west. And I don't know why that feels like very significant to the sextile, where Neptune is retrograde. And Neptune retrograde has been having us like look at, like I shared last week with it stationing retrograde, like what is the deeper emotional substance that is present in your life? Yeah, I feel like I should read that book to you guys. Like, I feel like I should have like story time, like back when I was a librarian and reading to the kindergartners. Like, that was always the funnest, like reading the books and like getting very amped about it. But that book always had an impact on me too, where it was like, oh yeah, your greatest flaw can actually be your greatest strength, and actually help people. So Neptune, like what I'm gonna, I've had so many jobs. Star, you should see my resume. Yeah, midheaven and Gemini, baby. I just do a lot of different things. I have the, yeah, it always leans into teaching and or communication. So no matter what it is, whatever shape or form it is, I love making resumes, and I love my resume, and it's very impressive. And sometimes I apply to jobs just for fun because I have an impressive resume. Okay. So, all right. I keep like skirting around talking about this transit because Neptune retrograde is really this energy around what is true self-love, not this superficial, like I'm just going to, you know, slap some mascara on and have a kombucha and call it self-care. It's this deeper, like, what is actually caring for me, this version of me that like feels very raw, that feels very new, right? Especially in this transition that we're all moving through. Like, we're all feeling happen within our own unique stories, where it's like, it's kind of like having a newborn baby, but it's you. And so there's sort of this energy of like, how can we take care of ourselves? How can we really love ourselves in this way that is, oh, if I'm mothering myself, how am I taking care of my body? What am I putting in my body? What am I fueling myself with? What is the identity? Who are the people I surround myself with? It's this deeper inventory of like, what is actually nourishing my heart and this version of myself that I am. And again, Uranus and Gemini is all about this curiosity and mental stimulus. And this sextile is creating this very supporting energy of actually like, I'm seeing like getting access to the deeper neurons and neural pathways within our mind to understand, where were these pathways? Where did they come from? Where are they going? How can I like actually begin to start changing that pattern? And this makes me really think about naturally the energy that has been happening through what I've been witnessing within the inner circle of like understanding, oh, this thought process, I'm seeing where I'm no longer engaging in the pattern, or I'm catching the pattern more quickly than I used to. And I'm having more compassion, and I'm getting full body chills. That is literally the energy of Neptune retrograde in Aries, is a deeper level of compassion of you moving through this active rewiring process. Took a while to get there, but we made it. Thank you, Star. Yeah. It really is this like, oh, I'm actually holding my hand in the process of this deep introspection I'm moving through, and that I can take these steps to rewire myself, that I can take these steps to be kinder to myself and be more compassionate to the human experience I'm actually going through. So there's a lot of compassion that's coming up in this. Yeah, no, Star, I had like full body chills while I was saying that. I was like, oh, that's what this is. And sometimes it takes a while to like get there. Hi, B, welcome. Happy to have you here. I love that B has a profile picture of a bee, and then cathartic, you've got that butterfly profile picture. I love it. I'm loving my insect energy happening here. I'm just going to feel into this sextile a little bit more and see if anything else wants to come. Yeah, the Uranus and Gemini really is this sort of oh man, again with like the dusting off or like the rusty pipe analogy, I'm seeing like neural pathways that haven't been used since you were a kid because you adopted pathways that were passed on to you from your upbringing and your environment that you're now getting access to, because Uranus and Gemini is really a deeper connection to the inner child. Curiosity, having that childlike vision, and to be able to hold like duality, and right where a little kid can look at one thing and see both sides. Like kids actually are very, very powerful in that, right? Do not underestimate kids, man. It's why I loved working with them, especially little ones. They're brutally honest. They will tell you if they think you're ugly. And that's mean. But it's so funny. I mean, I had a kid that was like asking me about my nose piercing. And she's like, why did you do that? And like, why, why? Right? And then I told her the truth and she was like, cool. And like, no, like they just want to know information. And so this deeper, like curiosity with yourself and in this process, like, can you remain curious as you're moving through? One kid asked me why I was bald. Oh. I had one kid that literally was obsessed with my tattoos. And when I told her about my chest piece, when I was about to get it, each day she would come and find me. She's like, did you get it yet? Did you get it yet? And like, by the time I got it and I had like the second skin over it, she was like, it's so beautiful. And I was like, I'm like, that's not it yet. And she's like, I love it. It was the cutest thing ever. So fun, especially I was in Utah at the time. So like, I was the alternative teacher, but I was also the teacher that all the kids loved. It was so sweet. Ugh, I miss teaching sometimes. Ugh, miss it. I literally have been having more and more conversations with my past and future selves. I love that, Amy. Yeah, same here. Yeah, literally. Why? But why? Oh my God. Whoa, full body chills reading that, Matt. Massive deja vu. Massive deja vu. Wild. Okay. That is the sextile coming up here. And so just keep in mind that this sextile is going to be a thread that is going to be a deeper conversation as this basket is formed, which it's going to be Jupiter moving at the exact 4 degrees of Leo, which is going to be happening. When is that? That's going to be happening like literally. Yeah, the 20th is like that big final day. So we'll be talking about that on the 19th. So make sure you're here. I go live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Okay, so jumping into Friday. Boop. Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man in the moon. Okay. So now we have another piece of this. A little piece of the puzzle. We have Uranus making this trine to Pluto, which amazing, yummy, supportive energy. I kind of love the fact that Neptune and Pluto are retrograde because it's kind of giving this like deeper self-inquiry while we have these active planets that are still direct, though I'm going to say that Uranus is going to be going retrograde soon, just so you're aware. Now, okay. I love Paris Paloma. All right. I'm like knocking on my heart and I just heard knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. What a wild experience. Okay. Neptune. I'm not talking about Neptune, Pluto. I'm looking at Pluto and I was like, Neptune and Pluto. Pluto and Aquarius. Have been loving this energy. Retrograde has been this deeper reprogramming of a lot of deeper structural energy, which is so powerful. When we look at Aquarius and the archetype of Aquarius, Aquarius is the water bearer. They hold the collective consciousness. Aquarius holds a lot more energy than most people actually realize. It is that like chalice to a certain degree. It is the container for Pisces. and the water that's moving out of the pouring of the fish, right? It is holding like, oh, I'm the one holding all of this. So shout out to my Aquarius people. Y'all hold a lot, even though you don't talk about it. And yeah, I'm naming myself here with my moon in Aquarius. When I say I'm fine, I'm probably not fine. But it's fine. It's fine. Okay. It's fine. I just totally outed all of us. It's like, no, it's fine. I've got this. I'll do it on my own. I've always done it on my own. Okay. So, yeah, Aquastelian has me questioning everything for real. So this trine that we have, Pluto in Aquarius, has been this deep reprogramming of the collective consciousness at this level of like, what is true, what's not true. And really finding, I heard like the underwiring and the undercurrents. And I say wiring because Aquarius to me is very electric. It's very electricity. And so like these undercurrents of this cerebral energy, again, like neural pathways. It really is this like reprogramming nature, and this trine that's happening to Neptune and Gemini. Oh my God, why do I keep saying Neptune? Mercury. Stop. Okay. To Uranus and Gemini, I love you guys getting to actively see how like this is just what is. Neuroplasticity. Yes. There is this energy of massive support in the process of I feel like everything that I've already been naming to you guys in this live stream, this is just another support structure in the complete reprogramming of what is going to be changing. Because to be completely honest, like this is a new era that is moving with these outer planets. Like it's been the putting the pieces in place. And like I've shared in previous live streams and in other places, like this year of 2026 is sort of the bridge between the old world and the new world. And I feel like almost every astrologer says that about any other transit, but this really is this like, oh no, I'm completely reprogramming myself. You are a different person than who you were a year ago. Bridge over troubled water. Love that. Yeah. And so this trine that is happening on this day is really bringing in this, I hear it like it's just another support piece that is coming in between the process that you've been going through. And it hasn't been fucking easy. I want to tell that to you guys, especially people who are actively like, instead of ignoring the triggering things that are coming up at this time, you're looking at them. It's sort of this idea of like having, looking at the things that go bump in the night, and like actually instead of running away and like closing the closet and ignoring it, it's like, I have to investigate this. I owe it to myself to investigate these things that have shaped my reality. Hi. Hello. We got Harmony in the TikTok chat. Let's freaking go. Implementation through repetition. Fake it till you make it. Yeah. Look where I'm at, guys. I faked it till I'm making it. I still feel like I'm faking it sometimes. And then I watch my live streams back and I'm like, who is that? I don't know. It's just me. So there is this sort of deeper support that is coming through with this trine. And it really is this like, it's reminding me of the gift that I shared on one of my newsletters, where it's like got the neural pathway and then it's like literally detaching from the old pattern and recreating the new pattern. So it takes repetition, exactly like what Amber already said. Now, this makes me think of this concept that my old mentor, Alexandria, used to share with us. And it took me a while to really grasp it, because like these sort of ideas of reprogramming self It's hard. And like when people say just reprogram yourself, you're like, but how? You have to actively look at the fucking pattern and watch it and witness it and look at it and look at it. Amy, thank you for hanging out. You're gonna join. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yo, Amy's joining the inner circle. Let's fucking go. I'm excited to have you in it. And I feel like it will be a great space for you to soften into as you explore the Discord in a bigger space. We'd recognize you in the lineup. Don't worry, Izzy. Let's go. Yeah. You know, there is this sort of, yeah, it's free falling. It's really leaning into letting go and letting God. And that's what the North Node in Pisces has been like, really like, guys, trust me, trust me, trust me. Like, we got this, like, let go and let God. And like, if I'm being completely like transparent with you guys, which is my deepest desire with what I share, like the last year of leaning into doing this full time, I would deep into like fear spirals of like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm not making it. I'm going into debt. Like there's no way this is going to make it. I can't do it. And then I would have God answer my prayer and I would be able to, thanks for the follow. And then I'd be in a new space, a new terrain. And I'm like, oh my God, like God showed up for me. I trusted myself. I did the scary thing I was asked to do. And then it would go into the shadows again of like, I can't do this. It's been like that. And I finally can safely say I'm at the point where I'm like fully trusting. Let's fucking go. Gifts. Thank you. Thanks for gifts. Let's go. Thank you for everybody who's hanging out here too. You guys are so sweet. So this is the active process of that. This Uranus making the trine to Pluto is like, oh, I'm seeing the neural pathways that I'm acting upon. And it's so, astrology is such an interesting thing because, right? I mean, I've been doing this since I was 15 and seeing the patterns and actively living the patterns. Y'all, like, what is happening here with this new moon leading into this cradle is like we're really getting to see the pattern of like motherhood and the mother and the programming that we've gotten from like literally our DNA, and like we're grabbing hold of it and saying, I'm choosing something different. This is actively the change that is reshaping the world. It, you know, for me, I'm under the belief, especially with Neptune and Aries, that the way this world is going to change is one person at a time. That only we can do the inner work and the inner alchemy to change our reality and to change the response of what is happening. And I even saw it with my client I sat with yesterday, where I'm like, the deeper that you heal yourself, the more you heal the people around you, because they see that change and you're no longer engaging in the patterns. So then they have to operate differently. So you not engaging in the patterns anymore, especially connecting to other people, it changes things. Crazy stuff. I love it. Now let's jump to Sunday. I love doing this, you guys, and I have so much gratitude for everybody for being here, supporting me, hanging out, and just like hand in hand, like, I heard lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Yeah. Yeah. It's a fun Sunday. Yeah, I'm like, this is Sunday church. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, it is the day of the sun and celebrating the light. Yes, I know what date it is because of this stream. Let's fucking go. I love it. So Sunday, July 19th. This is my house of worship. I love this church. This is so fucking funny. Oh my God. Maybe when I build my business, I'll make it a church so I don't have to pay taxes. No, I'm just kidding. I have a whole sidebar about like understanding religion, because I was raised religiously. Did you know that the reason that churches don't have to pay taxes is because, It's so the government can track organizations, because churches are the ones that will have the most emotional like volatility. And, you know, it's like, oh, here, we'll give you, you don't pay taxes, but we get to know everything that you're doing. So because people will fight for anything in the name of their God. Anyways, random fact, random thing. Yeah. It's because the biggest gangs in the world are churches, church organizations. Yeah. People will kill in the name of their God, if we haven't seen that already, right? That explains. Yeah. That is not a fun fact. Sorry. I mean, a not fun fact. Anyways, watch my live get banned for revealing that information. I have a cool podcast you guys can listen to on it if you guys feel interested in like learning more about that kind of stuff. I mean, we can look at what's actually going on in the world right now, but we're not going to go down that trajectory, because all we can control is ourselves and how we respond. So, anyways, Sunday. Banned for revealing an admin strat. Yeah. Sunday, the 19th, Mars, hanging out in Gemini, is making a sextile to Saturn. I love this. This is so, so good. There is this like, hold on. I need to repost and share my live stream. Okay. Mars making this sextile to Saturn in Aries is delicious, because Mars is at home in Aries. So there's sort of this like, I just saw like the hands grasping, like, you know, like bro moment. This is very supportive because Mars is in Gemini, which is like taking action on these things. Mars is, again, like I said, we got a freaking divine quest. That's what I named one in my newsletter, is because we literally got like, I know some of y'all got the like, this is what you need to do. And now it's like, oh, I need to reprogram everything in my mind, in my heart, in my world to actually take action on this thing, on this version of me, on the version of me I know is in the future. And so Mars is the one carrying the torch. Mars is the one actually actively moving forward in this energy, whether it was a big thing or a little thing. It can be as simple as, I need to change my diet. Okay, now I need to look at the stories I have around food. Now I need to like look into, what am I eating? What have I been fueling myself with? And not shaming myself, but knowing it was a pattern and like inviting different movement, right? It could be something a lot bigger. I didn't tell anybody this, but the Mars-Uranus conjunction was directly on my MC at the exact degree, like down to the minute. It was at 3 degrees and 57 minutes, which is the exact degree of my MC. When I tell you big things are coming, I just have to, there's a lot of steps I have to take, which I know all of us are moving through in our own way. And so Mars is carrying the torch. And I see like, you know, the Olympics, like running like the torch, like person, like this is the torch bearer. This is the movement. And so this sextile to Saturn happening on Sunday is like the activation and the movement of like, oh, sustainability. Saturn is like, hey, we don't want that torch to burn out. We don't want ourselves to like lose the spark. So there is sort of this pacing and actually building everything that I've shared about Mars and Aries, not Mars, Saturn and Aries. God, this Mercury retrograde is going to kill me. Saturn and Aries. Saturn in Aries is teaching us sustainability and long-term vision, which seems so backwards because Aries is all about quick, immediate results. And Saturn goes, hey there, buddy, slow the fuck down. If you want this idea to actually take form, you're going to have to build it sustainably, brick by brick. And so this sextile is very supportive of that, of like, I see the passion. It's kind of like, I'm hearing, what are those people called? That like a page, right? It's giving like the page of wands, right? Energy, or page of swords energy. where it's like, hey, you have a great idea, but we need to like understand the pathway that we're taking on this. And so Saturn is creating, I feel like on this Sunday, it's going to be that more supportive, like, oh, this is how I can actually move forward in this. This is how I can actually begin to put the pieces in place to build this new reality of mine. It's very action oriented and very supported in long-term vision. And yeah, I feel like a lot of people are going to have that like affirmation from external reality of like, yes, movement forward in a specific direction. Okay. Anything else about that? Because I'm literally seeing like some people actually receiving a message or an actual confirmation with Mars being in Gemini of like your plan or like your patent. Hey, funny I said patent, Matt. I don't know. Maybe something might come through about that. I don't know. But like those little things that you've been waiting to hear about finally coming through in like a deeper clarity and like the steps forward. Okay. Yeah, wow, what a week we've got. It's very much like I feel like a lot of the energy in the collective field has been like a horse in a corral, right? It's giving like the movie Spirit, where it's like I have to like I'm in this corral and like I need to like have movement, but I need to understand and listen to like what is present before I take the action. And the action will come, but it's taking this reprogramming of everything I know. I'm from a herd of wild horses and now I'm around like tamed horses and like this different sort of energy of like, how do I move forward in this new energy? The voice becomes action at Mars at 14 Gemini, closely conjoining your natal. Ooh, I believe layer by layer, which there's a song called Layer by Layer, which I'm going to actually drop in the inner circle chat because that actually came up in this live stream in my mind, but I didn't say it. I don't know if I've shared it there before, but I'm going to drop it in. Yeah, it's such a good song. I figured you knew it, Harmony. There we go. Okay, so yeah. Go listen to that energy. I think it's so funny that it's a fire horse here in Chinese astrology because of the fact that Saturn's in Aries, which basically counteracts that whole energy, meaning like, oh, you want to run fast? Well, how's your endurance? Who's it by? It is by Savannah. I'll throw it over here. Savannah. Take a screenshot. So, yeah. Yeah, that's our transits this week. I don't even remember what I said. Endurance for sure. So on Monday, July 13th, Venus is square Uranus. On Tuesday, July 14th, we have that new moon in Cancer. Again, the inner circle will be gathering on the 13th, the evening of the 13th for this. On Wednesday, July 15th, Uranus is sextile Neptune, starting the configuration of this cradle. On Friday, July 17th, Uranus is trine Pluto, again adding to this cradle. Sunday, July 19th, Mars is sextile Saturn. So now is the time for your questions, comments, concerns, hopes, wishes, dreams. I am Eepy girl. Eepy.